Hey, all you cool cats and kittens out there. Today we're going to learn taking those those threes, not sleeping, but those three general areas of a house and break them down just a little bit more. I think I'm going to break it into three different parts just to make it more manageable, especially since it's asynchronous and by yourself. So, as we see right here, we already know that there are three different rooms areas. We have the living area, the sleeping area, and the service area. And those are all the three areas that you guys had learned about last week. And if not, then I guess it's a first. Here we go. In a house, here in red or colored red for us, are the living areas. We have the family room, the dining room, and I guess you could say, the formal living room or the nicer one out of it. What do you notice about these two in the picture here? And the interesting thing is they are sunken. So it means they must be a little bit, I guess, down in the ground. The other thing you probably would sort of notice is that the front room right here, this living room, is actually the main floor and looking at the main door into the facility or to the house. So as you see right here, this is the door opens up to an entryway, and boom, on one side is the sunken living room. On the other side, if you take a few steps, is the family room, or if you go straight, it is the dining room. So they are all sort of kind of moving out from the area, at least in this house, from that general area. We also note that the dining room is next to the kitchen. We don't have it farther walking through the different parts of the house. And probably the nicer living room is near the front door. The family room, which is a little more informal, is a little far away from it. So let's talk a little bit about these areas. This formal living area, I have this in my house. I have the nicer couches, I have wall decorations, but there's no TV. If I have people over and we want to talk, we want to converse, we want to speak, we're in that room. Other times we don't have anything in that room. That's the way people come in. Our front door is there, but we've never let my kids play in there. Maybe they can ride around the house kind of, but they didn't actually take their toys in there and work. Mrs. Fowler even gets mad when I sit on the couch in there because she goes, I fluffed the couch. No, no, no. And all the pillows. So again, generally the size of this is going to be 13 feet by 18 feet. So right here, you may want to pause the video just to kind of get some of this information down on your notes. All right, let's move on to more of an informal living area. I call this the family room. This is where the family gathers, where we hang out. We have the TV. We don't have as many holiday decorations. Most of our holiday decorations go in that nice formal living room that we had just talked about. That's where we put our tree, the lights for people to see outside, all that cool stuff. But here, this is the room. We have carpeting. We let the kids beat the heck out of it. We have reclining couches. We have the big TV. We have stereo, at least some speakers. We don't really have a stereo anymore. It's all kind of done wirelessly through Bluetooth, I guess. If we had a family game box, or we had like a PlayStation 5 and it was a family item, maybe this is where we would have it, or we can move it to the basement because that's another area, but each of them have their own in their rooms. Sometimes you may even use this as sort of everybody gathering and working together on their homework. Now, the size of this is, I believe, a little bit bigger generally, but generally the size is 13 feet by 16 feet. This might be a good place to pause and get some information down on your sheet. Let's talk about the dining room. The dining room should be really easy to access from the kitchen. That way, we don't have to be carrying our food across the house. We're not, if something spills, it's at least quick, probably easier to sort of clean up. There are really kind of two different things or two different types of way of looking at your dining room. Mine happens to be a casual dining room. It's really small, or it's smaller, 9 by 11. We have a table and we have chairs, and that's it. I mean, we do have some nooks for some smaller spaces, I guess. Over here, they have the little shelves and stuff. We have like a cart. We actually have a second mini fridge in there just for beverages, because I was so sick and tired of everybody opening and closing the refrigerator. So I was, trying something different. The general size of a bigger formal, this is where maybe you have Thanksgiving, or, again, it might be one of those areas that isn't used very often in your house. And that might be 11 feet by 14 feet. But you'll see it's always kind of attached to the kitchen. Over here, the nook, this might be a smaller room, might be more for casual dining. Some houses have it, some don't. I would say my kitchen has a nook in it. Again, I think mine's much smaller. I'm disappointed with the size of my kitchen. My kitchen at home, because I do a lot of the cooking and baking, I really wished it was bigger. By the way, maybe you should have paused it right there to take any notes that you needed. And now we're moving on with some other characteristics. Remember, these living areas, they're places to play and relax. You want to have a lot of windows and natural light, obviously, except if it's a home theater, but it's a place where people gather. And again, we like to place it near sort of the entrance or the front foyer to the house. So what rooms in this diagram here are part of the living area? And you would see that the great room, the dining area, and I guess we would even the porch. I suppose if we had a patio out in the back, that would be part of the living area too. So we're going to pause it there and make sure that you've filled out everything for living areas, and we'll talk about sleeping areas next time.